elegance of this Pear Charlotte lies in its simplicity and its taste. This classic French pastry is also known as Charlotte Russe or Russian Charlotte, a recipe believed to have been created by the great chef Antonin Carème, chef of the kings and kings of the chef. To make the Charlotte, you will need poached pear in syrup, water, whipping cream, ladyfingers, gelatin. You may use also agar-agar, which is made of seaweed, sugar, egg, pear William, optional, which is an eau de vie from pear, and raspberry coulis. Make the simple syrup. Simple syrup usually is 2 to 1, so 2 parts water, 1 part sugar, but I wanted to have it a little bit sticky and a little bit thick and syrupy, so we are going to make it 1 to 1. Place the sugar in a saucepan, add the water, and optionally add some pear alcohol. Ooh, it's nice. It's 40% of alcohol. Beautiful pear flavor. This is an eau de vie. Add it. Bring the liquid to a boil and give it a stir. Make sure the sugar get dissolved into the liquid. When the simple syrup is boiling, turn the heat down and allow to simmer for 2 minutes. Turn it off and let the simple syrup cool down. Make the pear puree. So we need about 3 cups. So I'm going to fill the jar to 3 cups about, and when it will be puree, it will lower down. Maybe a couple extra. There we go. Add a little bit of the simple syrup. You want a thick puree, so you want to add just a little bit of simple syrup, just enough to have the liquid to spin. Then process. Good. Measure about 2 cups of puree, so it's pretty thick. Good. Drain a few pears and dice them up. This is a Marquise mold. This one is about 7.5 inches by 4.5. Sometimes you could find the same kind of shape with 2 little handles also. They are available in silver or in aluminum. You don't have to spend a lot of money for it because we don't bake with it, we don't cook with it. So this is just a mold in order to cool down food such as Charlotte. So line the mold with plastic wrap inside. So just push down everything to the corners. You really want to have the plastic on the sides of the pan. I may use another one. The plastic will prevent the cookies to stick to the pan. So leave the extra like that, the pieces, because we're going to wrap it over later on. Separate the yolk from the white. Add the sugar into the yolks and whisk vigorously until the mixture becomes pale and fluffy. This action is called blanch the yolks because at the end the egg yolk will look like pale, a little bit whitened, and that's the only way to make sure that the sugar is well incorporated to the yolks. I forgot an ingredient in the recipe. You know what it is? Elbow grease. You don't have to suffer like me. I'm very dedicated to my job. You may use technology such as a nice electric whisk. Good. Then keep the mixture aside, pour the cold cream in a bowl, and whisk it until soft peaks. Okay, tiny bit more. Good. You want soft peaks like this. Keep the whipped cream refrigerated. Transfer the pear puree into a saucepan. All of it. And bring it to a boil. On medium heat. We are using 6 gelatin sheets. Fold it in a bowl and pour over cold water from the tap. Make sure the water is not warm at all, because otherwise it will dissolve the gelatin, and you don't want that. You just want to soften it. Here we go. Great. Let's see the pear puree. We are heating the pear puree in order to melt down the gelatin. Take the gelatin, squeeze the water out, and add it to the hot puree and stir to melt it down. And add the diced pears. Add the fruit puree to the egg yolk mixture. So a little bit at the beginning. Just temper the eggs. And the rest. So use a rubber spatula to grab every piece of food, because in your pear mixture here you have the gelatin, which will help to set the dessert. Mix well. Clean the sides, because you have some sugar in there. You shouldn't feel the sugar. If you feel some grain, pick them up. And because the mixture is slightly warm, they will dissolve. Then add some of the whipped cream, like a third. Mix slowly. I'm touching the bottom of the bowl, and I can feel it is a little bit too hot to put more cream. So I'm going to wait about 10 minutes to let it cool down a little bit, but at room temperature. Don't put it in the fridge. And we will put the rest of the whipped cream after that. That gives us time to add the cookies to the mold. So roll quickly the finger into the syrup and place them side by side. Sugar side out. Work one lady finger at a time, because you don't want them to soak too long in the syrup. Because later on, when they will be cooling for one day in the fridge, they will continue to absorb the moisture of the cream. So move them a little bit. Then we're going to line the bottom. So just like so. Break this one. Just push. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Much better. The mixture has tempered to about a little bit warmer than the room temperature. So now I can add the rest of the cream. So fold it in. Fold in. You want to have a mixture totally homogenized. Then transfer the mixture into the mold. So wrap it over. That will keep it protected into the fridge. Place the Charlotte 24 hours minimum in the fridge. Make sure you don't eat the leftover pears, because tomorrow we're going to use them for garnishing the top of our Charlotte. Our Charlotte has been refrigerated for 24 hours, so now it's time to unmold it and finish it. So the first thing I'm going to do is to cut the end of those cookies here, because we don't need them, otherwise the Charlotte will break. Good. Now it's the delicate moment of unmolding the Charlotte, the moment of truth. Place your serving platter over the Charlotte. Then place a hand on each side and flip. Do some magic. Voodoo, voodoo, voodoo. Garnish the top with sliced pears. Cut your pears in very thin slices. So garnish the top to cover the cream. Clean the plate. Then add a ribbon around. The knot. The ribbon will make it very festive. Serve your Charlotte au poire with a raspberry coulis and keep it refrigerated at all times until you serve it. Bon appétit!